Our next guest is entering his first season as head coach of the Florida Gators. After 3 very successful seasons at Colorado State, he's Nick Saban's former offensive coordinator at Alabama and is very excited to be back in the SEC. We welcome to the desk Jim McElwain. Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, man. It's an honor to be here. It really is.
We appreciate it. So a storied program. You're the head man there. Are you feeling the pressure?
I'm still kind of scratching my head a little.
Yeah.
You know, you go into this business and, there's only a handful of those jobs. And we had a great thing going at Colorado State, a place we felt we could be forever and expected to. And then, all of a sudden we get this phone call and to accept that challenge, to be at such a great place like that and really go test ourselves against the best in the SEC conference.
I'm looking at Kelvin Taylor. Obviously, he's somebody you can rely upon, but you're talking about potentially a redshirt freshman in Will Grier as your starting quarterback, and the offensive line has some serious questions because of this inexperience. What can we expect from y'all on the offensive side of the ball? Well,
one of the things in our responsibility is really to get all these young guys integrated as soon as possible. We've got an influx of new players coming in. Obviously an unsettled quarterback situation. Both Treon Harris and Will Grier had really good springs, kind of grasping what we're doing. But really for us as a coaching staff is really to look back and say, and really evaluate, what do these guys do best? Don't ask them to do some of the things we need to work on, but let's accentuate the positives. And as we go in, it's a challenge, but you know what? Every year is a challenge.
When you talk about, excuse me, sure. when you talk about, when I think about the quarterback position, obviously everybody knows it's the most important position on the football field in the eyes of a lot of coaches, everybody pretty much. Right. What are you looking for from your quarterback? What's a great quarterback in your system? It's
interesting. I've been fortunate to be around some really good ones and coach some really good ones and guys that have gone on with NFL careers. But the one thing that really differentiates guys, some have strong arms, some do this, some do that. But it's how they elevate the play of the people around them. And it's amazing, those guys that have whatever that is. I wish I could say what it is, and we'd all be rich right now doing it, right? But at the same time, just seeing how the guys respond to them and how they produce while they're on the field, that really, to me, that position is so important as to what the other guys.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people, a lot of our viewers are getting a first look at you right now.
Sorry for that.
Give us, that's okay. They're going to get many looks at you and they're going to get to know you. But who is Jim McElwain on and off the field? Give us your description of you.
Oh, shoot, that's tough. I'm a guy who grew up in Montana and went to Eastern Washington University. Don't have a lot of pedigree probably as it goes in this business, but a long time ago a wise man told me just work your tail off and maybe someday somebody take a look.
You paid a lot of dues, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And
when you say we, you and your family?
Our family.
Okay.
It's truly a family business, and I think the only place my 3 kids have ever been in their entire life every year has been back in Montana when we go to visit, which has been tough on them. And obviously, I jump off and go live in a hotel and get the job going. And of course, my wife Karen's the one who's putting it all together at home. So for us, it really is a true family deal.
Now, I look at listening to what you're saying and getting back to your football team. You talk about somebody at the quarterback position being able to rally the troops around them. How does a coach gauge who has the ability to do that and who doesn't? Is it simply by looking at guys? Because sometimes guys are favorable towards a particular teammate, but it may not be the best guy for the job, but they like him.
Here's the interesting thing. When you're watching offensive football, the offense either moves down the field or it turns the ball over or they punt a lot, right?
Right.
It's amazing the guys who can sustain a drive and hopefully end each drive in a kick. What do I mean by that? Sometimes the best play you make is maybe throwing it out of bounds and going ahead and punting. Something where you learn to understand field position. Those are the things I think that help you win football games. And for that guy, that in particular guy, his ability to understand what color jersey to throw it to, is probably one of the most important things that we do.
Yeah.
So when you coordinated for Coach Saban, was he as demanding of his assistants as he was of his players?
You know, I would say this, as he is of himself. You never worried about it because that guy came to work every day and worked his tail off, right? And you know, the couple things when he hired me that I think just really stuck with me is he said, you know, Mac, he said, all I'm going to ask you to do is two things. I want you to work hard and be complete in what you do.
What's that, be complete? Just be thorough?
Be thorough, be complete.
Yeah.
You know, don't leave a stone unturned, right? Always take advantage of whatever there is out there to learn and get better and all of those things that go along with it. You know, we never arrive, none of us do, because as soon as we think we have, someone is outproducing us.
Florida had a tough year last year. It was tougher year before, I guess, but last year wasn't pleasant to watch for a lot of folks in Gator Nation. I'm not asking you to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that, but I need to know what you saw watching. I'm imagining you went back and watched some footage of the team last year, and what you're on a mission to make sure it does not transpire this year, outside of wins and losses.
Well, I got to say this, Coach Muschamp and his staff, they were some really good coaches. For whatever reason, something didn't work. You know, I mean, you can point at a lot of maybe little things, and probably the continuity on the offensive side of the ball. They happened to go through quite a few different systems. Each one of those systems were great. The coaches were really good, and they're going to be successful wherever they're, you know, moving off to. But I think that consistency is something that you could see a transition from maybe a certain type of player that one system might be looking at, then all of a sudden a new kind of round of recruiting in another, which now creates, you know, there isn't a lot of continuity within those spots. So that might be one of the things as you look at it, and yet, you know, in this business, there's a lot of good coaches and a lot of good coaches that things didn't go their way.
All right.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations again. Best of luck this season and being back with the SEC. That's exciting. September 5th, New Mexico State. It all opens up. Looking forward to that.